Have you ever imagined standing at the boarding gate of Toronto Pearson International Airport or Vancouver International Airport, holding a fully paid international ticket, only to be abruptly stopped by an automated system and turned away from your long-awaited family reunion flight? As of June 2026, this nightmare is becoming a harsh reality for hundreds of Canadian seniors aged 60 and above. If you believe your decades of flying experience can get you through Canadian airport security like it used to, you are profoundly mistaken. The ground under Canada's aviation sector has shifted permanently this month. Transport Canada and the Canadian Air Transport Security Authority, commonly known as CATSA, have quietly activated a series of advanced, artificial intelligence-driven oversight protocols and automated screeners across all major Class 1 airports. This is not a minor administrative tweak. It is a total technological overhaul. The days of human agents showing leniency to an elderly passenger traveling with a cane, a motorized scooter, or a bag full of critical prescription medications are gone. If you or your aging parents are planning to board a flight within or out of Canada this summer, ignoring these changes will cost you thousands of dollars in non-refundable tickets and potentially leave you stranded at the terminal. Today, we look past the bureaucratic jargon to expose exactly how these newly implemented automated checks work, how they target the specific habits of senior travelers, and what precise steps you must take to protect your hard-earned money and your mobility rights before setting foot in a Canadian airport. To understand why so many Canadian seniors are being flagged at airport checkpoints this month, we must look at the mechanical and digital spine of Canada's updated aviation infrastructure. Under the Transport Canada Departmental Plan for 2026 and 2027, major airports like Toronto, Pearson, Vancouver, and Montreal Trudeau have fully transitioned to an advanced screening framework powered by artificial intelligence-assisted oversight. The core of this transition relies on automated passenger imaging systems, or APIDs, utilizing high-resolution computed tomography X-ray scanners. Previously, human baggage screeners reviewed luggage images manually and could use personal discretion for elderly passengers carrying extra personal care items. Today, the new system operates on a strict algorithm known as image on alarm only. This means the scanning machine itself uses a trained neural network to analyze the molecular density of every object inside your carry-on luggage. If the machine detects a dense cluster of organic matter, a volume of liquid, or a complex electronic component that does not precisely match standard pre-programmed dimensions, the algorithm automatically triggers a red alert. Once that alert is flagged by the computer, a physical secondary inspection is mandatory by law, stripping away any possibility of a security agent giving a senior traveler a polite pass. Simultaneously, major Canadian carriers, including Air Canada and WestJet, have fully digitized their medical screening processes. The traditional paper forms have been replaced by a mandatory digital medical clearance system universally connected to the International Air Transport Association, or IATA, database. When a passenger books a ticket, their boarding profile is automatically scanned by the airline system for any specialized check-in requirements, such as mobility assistance or onboard oxygen use. If the required digital clearances are not uploaded and validated by the airline's medical desk ahead of time, the system triggers an automated hard lock on the passenger's profile. And here is the terrifying reality that should shock every senior flyer in Canada to their absolute core. Right now, as you watch this video, these newly deployed artificial intelligence airport scanners are secretly recording a specific type of biological and technical data from your carry-on items that is completely legal to possess on land. But if you do not declare it through a hidden digital portal 72 hours before your flight, the system is programmed to automatically flag you as a high security risk, lock you out of your flight, and authorize airport police to confiscate your medical equipment on the spot without any right to a refund, and almost no Canadian senior has any idea this hidden portal even exists. The financial and physical consequences of these automated system locks are devastating, and they fall squarely on the shoulders of unprepared senior travelers. The new rules divide passengers into high-impact categories based entirely on their physical needs and what they carry in their luggage. If you fall into any of these groups, the new algorithm directly threatens your wallet. First, consider senior travelers who rely on motorized mobility aids, such as electric wheelchairs or mobility scooters. Under the 2026 Transport Canada and International Air Transport Association safety updates, airport check-in agents are enforcing a brutal Automated mathematical verification for lithium-ion batteries. The system permits a maximum capacity of only 300 watt-hours for a single removable battery, or 160 watt-hours each for a maximum of 2 batteries if they are designed to remain inside the device. To find your device's capacity, you must multiply volts by ampere hours. If your battery label is worn out, or if the calculation exceeds 300 watt-hours by even one single digit, the system forbids the device from entering the aircraft. Furthermore, airlines have implemented a mandatory physical measurement check known as the doorway test. Many domestic flights within Canada utilize regional aircraft with narrow cargo doors, such as the de Havilland-8 400, which has a cargo door clearance height restricted to just 32 to 33 inches. If an older traveler arrives with a heavy mobility scooter that cannot fold down below 32 inches, the airline's automated system forces the agent to print a refusal of carriage ticket. Second, the new rules create an immediate crisis for seniors carrying critical medical supplies, such as continuous positive airway pressure machines, commonly known as CPAP devices, or insulin needles. Under the new image on alarm only protocol, if a senior passenger fails to remove their CPAP machine from its travel case and place it in a separate plastic bin for computed tomography scanning, the machine triggers an automatic security alarm. Distilled water required for these machines is legally exempt from the standard 100 milliliter liquid limit, but if that water is not placed in a completely separate, transparent bag with an official pharmaceutical or manufacturer label attached, the automated scanner rejects it. The ultimate financial blow comes down to the Air Passenger Protection Regulations of Canada. Because these new denials of boarding are officially classified as safety-related security issues, airlines are completely exempt from paying any financial compensation to the passenger. You will not receive a single dollar for out-of-pocket expenses, hotel stays, or missed connections. Your ticket is canceled, your money is entirely lost, and you are left to pay thousands of dollars for a new, last-minute ticket out of your own pocket. Navigating this highly automated aviation system requires a precise, step-by-step administrative defense strategy. You cannot afford to arrive at a Canadian airport hoping to explain your situation to a ticketing agent. You must execute a multi-step checklist at least 72 hours before your scheduled departure time to guarantee your boarding pass is approved by the master system. Step 1. The digital medical clearance execution. The moment you book your flight with a Canadian carrier like Air Canada or WestJet, you must bypass the standard automated booking app and immediately download the official medical clearance form, universally known as the META form. This document consists of 2 distinct components. Part 1 must be completed by you, the passenger, detailing your flight itinerary, travel dates, and the specific assistance required. Part 2 is a legal medical declaration that must be filled out, signed, and stamped by your attending family physician or specialist. This form must be uploaded directly into the airline's secure digital portal a minimum of 48 to 72 hours prior to your flight. For Air Canada travelers, you must send this completed file directly to the Air Canada Medical Assistance Desk via their dedicated toll-free fax at 1-800-359-2266 or call their specialized desk at 1-800-667-4732 to verify that the digital lock on your profile has been successfully removed. If you are flying with WestJet, you must contact the WestJet Special Care Desk at 1-888-89-378-538 to have an agent manually link your approved medical clearance file to your electronic ticket. Step 2. The technical standardization of mobility devices. If you are traveling with an electric wheelchair or a mobility scooter, you must perform a strict measurement check at home. Measure the device in its fully folded or collapsed state. The total height must remain under 32 inches to clear the cargo doors of regional domestic planes. Next, locate the manufacturer's plate on the battery housing to verify the voltage and ampere-hour ratings. Use the official formula. Multiply the total voltage by the total ampere hours to determine the exact watt hours. Ensure this final number is clearly visible on the battery label. If the label is faded, you must contact your device manufacturer to obtain a certified technical specification sheet. Bring a printed copy of this specification sheet to the airport to present to the check-in agent. Step 3. The security protocol separation for medical gear. When packing your carry-on luggage, your critical medical devices, such as CPAP machines, BiPAP machines, or insulin cooling cases, must be placed in a manner that allows for rapid extraction at the security gate. When you approach the Canadian Air Transport Security Authority checkpoint, you must immediately remove the device from its carrying case and place it in a separate plastic bin by itself. Any distilled water required for your medical equipment must be contained in a clear plastic bottle that features a prominent pharmaceutical or retail label indicating its medical necessity. This bottle must be placed in a separate, transparent Ziploc bag. You must immediately inform the security officers that you are carrying medically necessary liquids under the official Canadian Air Transport Security Authority exemptions. Step 4. Activating on-site human assistance. If you face any technical difficulties or system delays at the terminal, look immediately for a designated Canadian Air Transport Security Authority facilitator. These specific personnel wear bright blue vests clearly marked with the words "Need Help" or "Besoin d'aide." They are stationed at 16 of Canada's busiest airports to assist passengers who require specialized handling. Furthermore, if you have an internal medical device, such as a cardiac pacemaker, an implanted defibrillator, or a metallic joint replacement that cannot pass through a standard magnetic gate, you have a legal right under Canadian law to refuse the walk-through scanner. Instead, look the security officer in the eye and say clearly, "I am requesting a private screening room inspection with a physical pat-down." The security authority is legally required to provide 2 officers of the same gender to conduct this inspection in a completely private setting, protecting your dignity and your health. To truly understand why these rigid regulations are being rolled out across Canada in June 2026, we must look at the larger macroeconomic forces and demographic shifts shaping the nation. This is not an isolated decision by a few airport managers. It is a direct response to a massive structural crisis within Canada's public infrastructure and labor economy. First, Canada is currently experiencing an unprecedented demographic shift. The baby boomer generation, those born between 1946 and 1964, has officially aged into the senior demographic. Every single day, thousands of Canadians turn 65, rapidly expanding the proportion of older citizens to historic levels. This demographic reality means that the volume of passengers requiring special assistance, carrying complex medical gear, or traveling with mobility devices at major hubs like Vancouver International Airport and Toronto Pearson has doubled over the past decade. The traditional manually operated airport infrastructure was simply never built to handle this volume of specialized care. Second, this demographic surge coincides with a chronic, severe labor shortage within Canada's aviation and security sectors. Over the past several years, airport authorities and contracted security firms have struggled to recruit and retain frontline personnel due to rising labor costs and shifting workforce preferences. Human agents are expensive to train, manage, and maintain on a public fiscal budget that is already facing immense pressure. Faced with this dual challenge, an exploding senior passenger base and a shrinking pool of human workers, the Government of Canada and Transport Canada had only one viable economic pathway: aggressive, uncompromising automation. This policy is clearly outlined in the Air Canada Accessibility Plan for 2026 to 2029, which officially took effect on June 1st of this year. The strategy relies entirely on replacing human judgment with algorithmic oversight. By deploying artificial intelligence systems, computer tomography scanners, and automated check-in locks, the Aviation Authority can process millions of additional travelers with only a fraction of the physical staff previously required. However, the hidden flaw in this macroeconomic strategy is the technological divide. Algorithms operate on binary code. They require absolute standardization. A machine cannot look at a frail elderly passenger, feel a sense of human empathy, and decide to overlook a missing medical form or an unlabeled bottle of distilled water. The system is programmed to see a non-compliant data point, flag an error, and issue an automatic rejection. Furthermore, this pivot toward a fully digital identity ecosystem is expanding rapidly. The Canadian government is moving toward integrating biometrics, digital health passports, and centralized data networks into every layer of public transit and international travel. While this shift increases throughput and reduces processing times for tech-savvy travelers, it creates a systemic barrier for older Canadians who may not possess the latest smartphones, understand complex digital portals, or have easy access to online medical uploads. For the senior population, the digitalization of Canada's airspace means that freedom of mobility is no longer just a legal right. It is a technical skill that must be mastered, or older travelers will face systematic exclusion from the modern transport economy. As these automated protocols take full effect across Canada, a wave of secondary risks has emerged, directly targeting vulnerable older travelers. The most immediate threat comes from sophisticated digital fraud networks capitalizing on the confusion surrounding the June 2026 airport updates. Scammers have launched highly realistic, fraudulent websites designed to mimic official Government of Canada portals, Transport Canada, or major airlines. When a senior searches online for the mandatory medical clearance forms, these malicious sites appear at the top of search results as sponsored links. They offer expedited processing of your digital Mediform or guarantee pre-approval for your mobility scooter for a fee ranging from $50 to over $150. Let this be an absolute warning. The Government of Canada, the Canadian Air Transport Security Authority, and all legitimate airlines do not charge a single penny for medical clearances, special assistance registrations, or wheelchair handling. If a website asks for your credit card details to process an airport accommodation or an exemption form, you are on a scam website. By entering your data, you are handing over your financial records, passport numbers, and personal health information to identity thieves. Another critical risk involves the mishandling of lithium-ion batteries by travelers attempting to bypass the 300 watt-hour system restrictions. Many seniors, upon realizing their mobility scooter battery exceeds the legal limit, try to conceal the battery inside checked luggage or attempt to modify the battery label with permanent markers. This is a severe federal offense under the Transportation of Dangerous Goods Act of Canada. Automated baggage scanners will instantly detect the chemical signature of unapproved lithium-ion cells. If you are caught attempting to smuggle an unauthorized battery on board, the airport fire marshal will immediately confiscate the entire mobility device, and you can face individual fines reaching up to thousands of dollars alongside a permanent travel ban on that airline. To ensure absolute safety and protect your expensive equipment from physical damage by automated baggage handling systems, you must adopt the one-page disassembly guide rule. Luggage handlers at busy terminals work under extreme time constraints and often do not know how to safely disengage the drive clutches or fold down complex modern power chairs. You must print a clear, single-page instruction sheet written in both English and French. Use large, bold lettering to explain exactly how to switch the chair into freewheel mode, how to fold the backrest, and where the battery disconnect switch is located. Enclose this sheet in a waterproof plastic sleeve and secure it directly to the steering tiller of your scooter using heavy-duty zip ties. This simple, proactive step ensures airport workers can handle your device correctly, preventing costly mechanical breakdowns that could leave you completely stranded at your final destination. The golden age of flying based on memory, luck, or casual interactions with sympathetic airline staff has come to a permanent end in Canada. As the June 2026 aviation overhauls reach peak enforcement across the nation, older travelers must face a foundational truth. Your smooth transit through an airport terminal is no longer determined by human kindness, but by your strict compliance with an unyielding digital algorithm. Whether you clear security or find yourself turned away at the gate depends entirely on how meticulously you prepare your files, calculate your battery configurations, and package your medical necessities at least 72 hours before your departure. The systemic changes being implemented by Transport Canada, the Canadian Air Transport Security Authority, and major airlines are irreversible structural shifts designed to handle an aging population through cold, automated efficiency. Navigating this new reality requires specialized knowledge and proactive execution. By exercising your legal rights, such as utilizing designated blue-vested Canadian Air Transport Security Authority facilitators, submitting your digital medical clearance forms well in advance, and insisting on private screening accommodations when necessary, you can shield yourself from massive financial losses and protect your basic right to mobility. Do not allow yourself or your loved ones to become a tragic statistic of non-compliance at the boarding gate. Now that we've exposed the inner workings of this automated system and provided you with a clear roadmap to navigate it, we want to hear from you. Have you or your family members experienced unexpected delays, strict bag checks, or issues with medical equipment at a Canadian airport recently? Please leave a detailed comment below to share your story, as your firsthand experience could help someone else avoid a travel disaster. If you found this investigative policy breakdown valuable, please take a brief moment to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our deep dive macro analysis videos. Most importantly, we urge you to click the share button right now and send this video directly via text, email, or social media to your parents, grandparents, or elderly relatives living across Canada. Many senior citizens do not spend their time tracking complex policy changes online, and sharing this concrete guide today could be the one thing that saves them from losing thousands of dollars and being stranded alone at a frantic airport terminal this summer.